I don't normally do unboxing videos, but I thought I would make an exception here and show the unboxing of the item that's in here. For those of you that have been waiting for more videos on the HP 9845, the wait is almost over. I will be getting back onto that project very soon, and the item in here is part of that project. And the reason I wanted to show the unboxing of this is I suspect this will be a good example of the correct way to box items, especially delicate items that you want to ship. Now, as you can see, I haven't opened this yet, but because the shipper has sent me items before, in fact it's the same person that sent me the 9845 in the first place, I suspect that this will be extremely well packaged. Now, it is important if you've got some vintage equipment, especially if it's rare, that it doesn't get destroyed in shipping. And as I've said in various videos, it doesn't matter what you write on the outside of the boxes will just get thrown about in shipping, so it's up to you to make sure that you really cater for the eventuality that the box will just be thrown out of the back of a van, because that will almost certainly happen at some point in its transition. So, having said that, the first thing you notice with this package is that it's an extremely robust outer box, and you need that. You need some way to stop things being pushed through the outer packaging and damaging whatever's inside. The item in here is fairly delicate. I'm in the UK and this has come all the way from America, so we'll see how the contents have survived. So we've got some strapping. Notice there are also corner supports on this. If you want to really stop the box being crushed, something like this is a good idea. It's not always necessary, but as I said, the item in here is fairly delicate and quite rare. Notice also that if you look at these corner supports, the box is actually lower than the corner supports. I suspect when it was packaged, these would have been tight and the corner supports would have been level with the top surface of the box. So this is most likely been stacked, some heavy things have been put on top of this, and as I said, that's what you've got to cater for. That's going to happen in shipping. This seems to have survived fairly well so far. What I'll do is I'll get the strapping off, we'll get the upper box off, we'll take a look inside. I won't take the unit out, I'll let you see what the internal packaging looks like, and we'll see if the item in here has survived. I don't know if it has yet, but let's find out. So I've got the top of the box opened. Now, I have had certain people say to me when I've shipped things to them that it's overpackaged, I should think of the environment, not waste so much material when packaging. And my response to that is no, I've done my bit. Mostly I use recycled boxes anyway, but now the onus is on you. You've got the boxes, you recycle them. And as I said, the point here is that the boxes can be reused. You don't need to just throw them away. If you've got something you need to ship, then reuse the box. It's not a case of I'm using too much packaging. Almost everything I use is something I received another item in. But if you don't do this, you'll almost certainly end up destroying whatever you're trying to ship. So first thing, plenty of bubble wrap. And I've shown why this is important in other videos. It's the main cushioning that the item's going to get between it and the outside world. Also the importance of double boxing. So if we peel this back, notice what we've got is some outer layers of bubble wrap. That will give very good cushioning, absorb a lot of impact. Also spaces the inner box from the outer box, so if something does penetrate the outer box, it's not going to go straight into the item. And there are several holes in this outer box where corners of other boxes or pallets have been knocked through, but not deep enough to get through the inner box. So I'll leave this in here, but open the inner box, and then you can see the kind of layered effect that we're getting in this package. So once we open the inner box, notice quite a few layers of bubble wrap around the item. And as I said, it does appear to be overboxed, but if you don't do this, the item will be destroyed. But what I have now are some nice boxes I can reuse, so now the onus is on me to make good use of these materials. What I'll do now is I'll get the inner wrapping out. I'll take the unit out, still wrapped, and then we'll see how the unit's been wrapped in the inner layers of bubble wrap. But what you can see so far is outer box, good layer of bubble wrap, inner box, and then plenty more packaging material. So I'll get this out and we'll take a look. So there were other layers of bubble wrap underneath and on top of this, so there was more packaging, more padding, and the idea is to absorb as much impact when the box is dropped as at all possible. So as you can see, very well wrapped up. So a lot of effort's required, but as I say, if you don't do this, you may as well throw the unit in a skip, because it will almost certainly turn up damaged if you don't. So I'll get this opened up and we'll take a look inside and see if this unit has actually survived the journey. Okay, so some of you may already recognise this, but there is still more packaging yet. There's some inner cling film, and this is to stop the outer packaging or the bubble wrap from pushing in, also to stop the various parts falling off. So it doesn't take a lot of effort, but this sort of attention to detail is what I was expecting, and that's why every single unit this ship has sent me has turned up in excellent condition with no damage whatsoever. So I'll just get this off and we'll take a look at this unit. Okay, so as you can see, the unit is in first class condition, no damage whatsoever. It's quite a heavy item and some fairly delicate plastic parts. This is plastic, so very easy to break these, and you can see every single one is just fine. If you just put this in a box and shipped it, almost certainly every one of these would be smashed. The other parts are plastic as well. Got some louvers on the back, not one of them is damaged. There are some fairly complex connectors on the bottom. I won't show you those now, we'll look at those when I do a proper video on this. But I've had a look and they're in excellent condition. CR2 has got cataracts, but that's not because of the shipping, of course. That's just what develops over time, so that'll be another CRT we'll need to get the cataracts removed from. But as you can see, excellent condition. There is wear on the corners, but that's not because of the shipping, that's just the way these wear over time. And if you don't know what this is, it is of course the larger monitor for the HP 9845B. So we'll be able to make good use of this. I'll do probably several videos on this. We will need to modify the 9845B to accept this. It's fairly similar, but there are some important differences required on the 9845 for this to work. So we'll go through how to fit this in the upcoming videos. But I've got quite a few repairs to do on the 9845. I've got some additional parts for it that need to be repaired. So I've had some other projects to get out of the way, but they're now done, so we can get back onto the 9845. But hopefully you found this of some use, because this is, in my opinion, the absolute correct way to package items if you want them to survive shipping. If you don't do this, then chances of them getting to their destination intact are very low.